All right, hey there, guys. It's Metro, and I just completed what I believe to be the most challenging thing I have ever done in any video game experience ever. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I'm talking about every hard type Pokemon ROM hack or game hack I've ever played, including Final Fantasy Tactics 1, 3, and all the WoW content I've ever done, including mythic raid bosses and stuff. And this one thing that happened completely by accident, honestly, was without question the hardest thing I've ever done. And I'm going to explain a little bit why. We're going to watch it first, okay? And then I'm going to explain to you why this was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a... We're going to talk a little bit about difficulty in video games and my summary of that. So I'm showing you this now because I've been doing this for a couple days now, and I never expected this to be this hard this quickly. So anybody out there who is looking for a challenging leveling experience, let me know. I could help you out with some some examples of where we're at. So we're gonna watch this. This is from Twitch. We're gonna watch it through, and I'm gonna talk about it as we go and after it's over. Okay, so here we go. So we're fighting Arnak Grim Totem. This is a quest in Thousand Needles, in case you're not aware. I don't actually want to spend any more power than I have to, really. Okay, so right out of the gate, you see me roll the bones, right? So I'm playing Outlaw Rogue, if you're not aware. Looking for a big roll, and I've yet to get it. I do this for over an hour, okay? And I never get that roll. I never got the 5 roll, okay? Which is, like, obviously really rare, but really overpowered. If I ever got it once, this would be easy. But the reason this is hard is because of what's about to happen here, okay? Watch this. Okay, so he summons 2 ads at 90, at 60, and at 30, okay? And we have an NPC here who is effectively going to tank for us, okay? But he's going to die to these mobs.
That's like the most burst we've done so far.
So I just note that this was the most burst I've ever done because we've been doing this for like an hour and a half now. And my big problem was I was unable to keep the mob from dying, all right? Now, if you've been watching this at all or you know anything about this, I can't tank more than one mob as a naked rogue, all right? All I wear is white weapons. That's it, okay? I have white pants on just so I don't look like an idiot, but I have no armor whatsoever other than those 3 armor from those pants, and this is very dangerous to survive if more than one mob is attacking me. But these individual mobs are not particularly dangerous. So if there was a way I can get both of them attacking me every time, I could probably do this. On top of that, as a rogue, I have multiple ways to CC. If I could use any of them, this would be not hard at all. Okay, so let's continue, and you'll see why the problem presents itself here. So typically what I have happen here is I cannot kill these 2 mobs before that NPC gets this boss down to 60. So this is such a huge point of progression here, okay? I'm talking about like dozens and dozens of attempts at this. Usually it takes me longer to kill those 2 mobs than it does for that NPC to get that, like, the other, the mob that we're trying to kill, Arnak Grim Totem, to 60. Usually it gets him to 60, and the second ad from the first spawn is still alive. This means that 3 ads are now out, and it's obviously like that compounds the problem. So I had some ideas to play around this, but ultimately what I did was I switched a PvP talent, an honor talent, and allowed me to do a bigger burst. And as you saw me note in the clip here, I actually do extremely good burst. In fact, you could see the DPS chart. It's actually pretty crazy how much damage I do naked. So that was the key insight here. Once we got past that, I knew we had a chance of killing this. Even though I'm telling you, I pulled this for almost 2 hours without any hope of killing this. It's absolutely insane.
Rush to kill.
Okay, so now we're just sitting here waiting because I'm in no rush to start this. Usually, like I said, we're so far behind with this that I can't control this at all. But the Brave itself is actually, relatively alive, and the boss himself is not in any danger yet, pushing too fast. So we don't need to rush this. I'm just sitting here holding combo points, waiting for something to happen. Okay, so now this is another thing that was really complicated about this. A lot of the times, the mobs just seem to spawn wherever the hell they want. I can't figure out where they spawn. But if I could, my goal would be to blind one of them. If I could keep one of them blinded for the full minute, this would have been easy. The reason I can't keep them blinded for the full minute, and this is extremely difficult, is because this NPC that's fighting this Arnak Grim Totem mob, he will charge over to just any mob we're in combat with. he will charge over and thunderclap it and break the CC. It happens all the time. So we cycled through doing things like waiting for him to break the CC or waiting for him to thunderclap and then CCing because there's some kind of CD on it. We tried pulling the mobs away. We tried everything. But the problem is I have no guaranteed way to get threat. Even when he's not done any damage to these mobs, they still seem to aggro onto him for some reason at times. I will do like a full rotation on the mob and it will still be attacking him, even though he's not even targeting it. So completely uncontrollable threat. I don't understand how it's working. He must have some kind of taunt that has some kind of CD, because sometimes I can't get him to get threat for the life of him. It's just so inconsistent. This was the reason that this was so difficult, and we'll talk about that in terms of how difficult it works. So I stun that mob. We're looking to just berserk. So the actual ability that I'm using is whenever you use between the eyes, your next 5 seconds worth of pistol shots cost no energy. And I figured this would be the best burst that we can do as a character that's completely naked. And maybe I'm wrong. This I don't ever play a rogue, so this is another reason why this was so difficult. So let's continue. But yeah, so we are in really good shape right now. Like the fact that we're killing this mob so quickly, and then this Blade Storm is another big deal. This Blade Storm is going to do a ton of damage to him, but look at how far away they are from the NPC. This is ideal. So he is very healthy right now,
Okay,
and,
this is the window right
even
here.
though I'm a little almost dead, it doesn't really matter because I'm going to blind that and I'm going to heal up, which is pretty easy
summon
with
the
bandages
caster
and stuff
ads
like that. But
now.
see, he breaks the blind immediately.
Where is he?
Okay, so now we're a little concerned, right? We
he
had
should do.
the God call here, the God pull here, and then all of a sudden he breaks the CC on me, and we are suddenly back in serious danger. Now the hard part is, sub 30, he's going to summon caster ads. So this is where things get really complicated, because basically what I'm doing is I'm saving riposte, which should be 100% immunity to physical damage. It allows you to parry 100% of the time, even though I'm still taking damage from it. I guess it must be from like castable abilities like Blade Storm, stuff like that. But either way, I'm saving parry for this, and I'm saving, I'm trying to go full Berserks mode on these mobs as soon as they spawn. But the problem is he's going to die. I haven't been able to circumvent this yet. But the way I do circumvent it, you'll see. So my goal here is to so you see he just charges over here for no reason. I'm just trying to prevent as many casts as possible here. Try to give him as much extra damage as possible. As you see, 47 health. How do I even survive that? Okay, so here we go. Here's the trick. This is it. I wish we can go back a little bit. Let's see. I don't want to go back so far that we miss something, or that we go back too far. But anyway, so yeah, let's watch this again, okay? So here comes the ads. He's going to summon 2 casters, okay? Now watch the health of the Freewind Brave. These lava bursts get off, and they pretty much decimate him, okay? Even though I'm trying to interrupt them, I'm failing, because this is the first time I've ever gotten this far into this fight, basically. I don't really have a set plan for this, but my goal would be to just stop them from casting as much as possible, and I have multiple ways to do that as a rogue. So he stuns them, they're not going to cast. But anyway, he dies, as you can see. He is now dead. All of the mobs are turning to me. Now, we've been trying this with Bloodlust, as you can see. Failing. If I had Bloodlust at this point, my goal would have been to use the parry, 100% parry, and just try to burn him while this guy is dead, okay? But even through like the hour and a half of this, I didn't realize what my trump card should be. Now watch what happens here. Okay, so he is going to... Now, another problem here is the infrequency at which he respawns. He's supposed to respawn. I don't think Blizzard expected him to die, because he kind of respawns and does whatever the hell he wants. Sometimes he respawns like a minute later. Sometimes he respawns like 10 seconds after he dies. But he's going to respawn perfectly. This is ideal. He's going to respawn, and watch what I do, how I circumvent dying here. So, vanish.
Okay, we vanished.
There you go. And every mob is back on him now. Now, I'm trying to interrupt, but I fail. They're immune to stun or something. I don't know what actually happened. But anyway, he kills one of the final mobs. There's three mobs total now. All we got to do is finish this up, and we are going to do it. So, honestly, I'm telling you, if you watch this live, which maybe someday you will,
all right, we did it.
I'm not gonna upload this series until it's actually like accomplished, like I've gotten somewhere. But I have to show this off, because this is arguably the hardest thing I've ever done in a video game, and I'm gonna explain to you why. So for me, video game difficulty has always been about one to two things. Okay, number one is preparation. Okay, and how much preparation matters to success. Now, there's a lot of times where preparation is all you need. Okay. And there's like a gradient of preparation mattering. And then the second thing is luck or like random determinants more so. Not luck, because luck sounds like you had no skill involved, but random determinants is something you can play around, right? Like, for example, this guy dying, I got lucky that I stopped the cast as he died, so these geomancers didn't kill me while I was kiting, and then I dropped threat with vanish. That's luck, but it's not like, there's some skill involved there. Do you understand? So there's a differential issue there when you have luck completely just roll of the dice. If you get it, you win. If not, you can roll around it, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do. So anyway, some gradients. You know what I mean? There's always been luck versus preparation, okay? And one of the most frustrating experiences, but one of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had, is playing a game called Pokemon Crystal Kaizo. That is a game where the developer has effectively ad nauseum made so many things so much more difficult and dangerous, but a lot of it is luck-based, okay? So in that game, I'm sure nobody here has ever watched the series I made on that, but just in case you have, you would have seen me set up these win conditions, what I called it. If you can get past the luck, then your preparation will win 100% of the time. And a lot of times, that involved me turning the difficulty back on itself. Like, for example, using abilities that were buffed to make them more difficult against a player, against the AI, and outthinking the AI. So this is something that's always in the back of my head, right? Like this determined skill versus this preparation skill. And in WoW, you don't see this a lot. A lot of raid fights, or even PvE in general, is a lot more determined skill. Like if you watch 15 videos on a fight and you know everything about it, you're going to go kill the fight. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of luck involved in most encounters. Now, that's not true about every encounter, but like, a fight like maybe Opulence, there's some RNG, but as long as you're like 90% of, dedication towards success of preparation, then you will succeed on that encounter. That 10% of that luck is probably not going to stop you from killing the encounter. As long as the dedication to preparation is there, the luck will be circumvented. Now, this is the complete opposite. This is the truest 50-50 I've ever seen. It probably a little bit closer to 60 or 70-30, but this is as true as 50-50 I've ever seen. And it's crazy to be talking about this. This is a freaking quest in a leveling scenario in World of Warcraft, right? So people say all the time, there's just no challenge in leveling whatsoever. Obviously, I'm doing it naked. And, this is complicated by the fact that this quest is very unique, all right? So if you're not aware what this is quite a long chain in the zone where you go and kill a bunch of very hard elites, but you have this extremely overpowered mob with you. He's going to tank. He's going to do tons of damage. Now, some of the other mobs were actually pretty hard too, but this guy is the end of the quest chain effectively. He is the hard one. And he also has 2 mobs guarding him. So this is what I'm saying about the luck versus preparation, why I think it's about 50-50. There are 4 mobs that are regular standard mobs that need to be killed in order to pull this. You won't see this in this clip, but if you watched it live, you would know that basically every 5 to 10 minutes, I had to clear out mobs. Otherwise, they would respawn while I was fighting this boss. So this is what I'm saying about the 50-50. Like, I had to be so prepared for this fight that under any element of issue, I could not succeed whatsoever. If one of those mobs respawned, we would not win. We had to have 100% clarity on the mobs not respawning. So that meant we had to sit here and wait. So here's the 50-50 predication on actually making sure we are ready to fight the mob at our optimum strength and not having any of this bad luck happen on top of that. And obviously, the big thing was that we got lucky with the burst window that we had. Our problem was that we could not kill the pack quick enough before the second one would spawn. So what actually made it the hardest was that this guy did too much damage. If he basically just tanked or didn't thunderclap, we would have been able to do this extremely easily. Because as a blind, I have incredible access, or as a rogue, I have an incredible access to CC. I could easily blind and then keep mobs stunned for such a long time that they would not kill him. As long as he did not stop them from being blinded, they would do nothing. They would effectively be removed from the encounter. It's not going to take more than a minute to kill this encounter, even though I'm naked, right? So the original goal was to just keep the mobs off him for long enough, but I could not find a way to prevent him from thunderclapping and breaking him. It was absolutely insane. It was maddening. Honestly, maddening. I tried everything. I tried pulling the mobs away. He would charge over to them. I tried waiting until he thunderclapped. I would blind them, and then he would like somehow break them from some other way. It was ridiculous. I spent so much time trying to theory craft on how to do this. I even went and got drums, which apparently you can use at any level. I had no idea. Frankly, Bloodlust is not that strong as a level 20 or level whatever I am, 48 who's naked. But it definitely would have made a big difference because I would have been able to burst through the window. So what I was trying to do was I was trying to get the first pack dead before the second pack spawned. And then the second pack, I would kill one mob and blind the other. That was the goal. And if I can keep that mob blinded for even a small amount of time, we would win. Because then the casters would come out and I would be able to kick the casters. I'd be able to prevent the casters from killing him, and we would have enough time to kill the boss. That didn't happen. Again, preparation 50%. Got unlucky. There's the other 50. Unlucky. The mob dies, right? Because there's just like a seemingly random amount of damage being done to him. Sometimes he gets slaughtered. Sometimes he dies in like 5 seconds. Other times he cannot die. I'm sitting there waiting to reset, and he's still very healthy. So couldn't figure that randomness out either. Never did. But sometimes he would die. Sometimes he wouldn't. So really, what we needed was to make sure that we basically outplayed the randomness, and we did that here today. So I don't even know what to say about this, man. This was honestly the hardest thing I've ever done in the game, and like I said, it's because of this 50-50 split down the middle. We needed equal parts preparation, equal parts luck, and we got it here today. Now, the reason I'm making this video and uploading this to YouTube, because first of all, I want to demonstrate that I can level this character naked, and it's been a fucking long haul in this zone. A lot of really complicated things in this zone, but it's going to get a lot harder, okay? But it shouldn't be like this. This is unbelievably difficult because you're just not equipped to deal with all the problems that this NPC creates for you. If it was literally just the mob and he didn't spawn anything else, but he was an elite, I could have killed him. I can do so many crazy things as a rogue. That's one of the reasons I want to do this as a rogue. But at the same time, it would be so much better to do this on a ranged. Like if I could do this as a frost mage or a hunter, something that has incredible mobility, credible CC, slows, etc., I would never even take a point in damage. But still, the brave would die. You know, understand? So if anybody's out there who's like on the fence about thinking about leveling being easy versus hard, I implore you, go here on a level appropriate character and do this without any gear on. Go get white weapons and no gear and go do this. Record it and show it to me. Show me how you do it, how hard it was for you, and if you learned anything that either I didn't figure out or that you think you learned from me that you made better on. Because I swear to God, I nerdgasmed at the end of this. Like, I was shaking. I was physically affected by completing this. It was unbelievable. I spent so much time here that I spent more time and more mental effort on this than any other thing in this game ever, without any question. Because, you know, in a raid fights are very difficult. But you plan around, you know, having 20 people to help you. You don't do everything yourself. There's mechanics that everybody has to do. This, I have to do it all. And I have to play around a ridiculously dumb NPC who is making the fight considerably harder for me. And at the same time, carrying me. Think about that. This NPC is carrying me. But I have to make him carry me. I have to force him into carrying me. And it's not easy. Luckily, with Vanish, it was easy. And I could see with Feign or maybe Mages and Viz, I don't know when they get these abilities, if they're appropriate here, but you could probably do the same thing. But if you have no way of dropping threat back onto this dude, well, maybe a Night Elf actually can do it. This is funny, because we did the soloing stuff, and we used the Shadow Meld, so maybe a Night Elf could do it too. But if you have no guaranteed way of dropping threat back onto this guy, you have to do it before he dies, because you will not survive, naked especially, not survive these casters. They are brutal, but man, this is insane. So, you know, if anybody's out there looking for a challenge out in the open world, go out here on a sub-level 60 character. Go tell me how you did that. You have to be on the quest, though, obviously, because if you don't, I don't think you're going to have the War Brave. I don't think you can do this without him. Maybe you can. I don't know. Challenge issued. But otherwise, I just wanted to share this ridiculous moment. And frankly, I think I really accomplished something. Banana was in the chat, and he was like, you deserve that, man. There's nothing you deserve more. Like, oh, man, it was insane. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.